I'm going to show you your exercises, and I'm going to go the same speed that I'd like you to do them as well, nice and slow and really controlled. We might have a little pet interaction. There's one kitty behind me in his bed, and the other is eating. Well, there's three. The other one's sleeping. I don't think he's going to come out. I'd like you to just to carefully go down on your back, gently rolling down one vertebrae at a time, and you'll hug your knees into your chest. Pretend you have a pencil between your knees and just drawing circles through your lower back. So you're using your arms to do this versus making it an exercise, not holding them on. So just gently warming up. This way you can feel what's sore that you weren't aware of. You can feel what your pelvis is doing. We're just going to do 5 of these each direction. If it feels good to do a second set, so you have 10 total, go right ahead. And for your exercises for now, we're going to do 2 sets of 10. I'm just going to go through 1 set with you, so you just play this a second time around. We'll pause and we'll hug that right knee to the chest. We're going to push that left heel to the sky. Just stretching through the hamstring. You can gently turn through the joint space if you like, turning the heel in and the heel out. Then take a breath, and as you exhale, just slowly lower it down as if you were scraping the wall with that heel. You're still hugging that right knee into your chest, taking it a little bit towards your armpit, giving your body a really nice stretch. Give yourself 2 more full breaths here. And gently releasing that air. And see, we've got my helper here, Merlin, who will make sure that I do everything right for you. And on that next exhalation, start to bend that left knee back in. We'll hug them both in for a moment. Then we'll take our hands on just the left knee. We'll push the right heel to the sky. We're going to hold that there again for a couple of breaths. And again, same thing. You can just gently rotate. Just being real careful and gentle, feeling what's loose, what's tight. And then we'll take a breath. We're going to exhale that leg on down. Still hugging that left knee towards that armpit or shoulder, and pushing through that heel and just stretching through the leg and through your lower back. Give yourself another full breath in. Merlin, please come away from there. Thank you. And a full breath out. And then we'll carefully lower the left leg down. And we're going to bend the right knee in. And you may want to scoot so you're at the edge of your mat so you can feel that your feet are even, particularly if you're off. We're going to go into our pelvic tilts. You can take your thumbs if you need to on the bottoms of your ribs and your fingers on the top of your pelvis if you're having trouble figuring out if you're moving correctly. On your exhale, you're going to gently draw the ribs and hips together. Inhale, you're coming back to that neutral position where you're arching. You'll inhale, so you're lightly pressing your back into the floor, tightening the stomach. That's who should be moving it. Inhale, going back to that arch. And we'll exhale, drawing in towards the ground, flattening out. Inhale, back the arch. There's 3. We'll inhale, gently drawing in, using the tummy. Exhale, arching back up. Here's 5. We'll inhale, drawing in. Exhale, arch back up. We'll inhale in for 6. Arch back up. Inhale in for 7. Arch back up. Inhale in for 8. Arch back up. Inhale in for 9, again using the tummy, and arch back up. Inhale in for 10, and we'll arch back up. And now we're going to go for those articulating bridges. Unless you have a cat beside you getting its tail in your face, keep your arms long at your sides. A little pressure in the heels. You're going to go into that, pushing the back down ever so slightly by tightening your stomach, and then just lift up one vertebrae at a time. Take a breath and roll back down one vertebrae at a time. So you have some pressure in the heels. You tighten your glutes as you're rolling back up 1 inch at a time, and we'll roll back down 1 inch at a time. There's 2. We're going to roll back up 1 inch at a time and roll back down for 3. And we'll press through the heels, squeeze through the glutes, and roll up. And we'll take that breath and release that breath as you roll back down for 4. And we'll take a breath, roll up for 5, and take a breath, roll back down. Making sure to keep the feet nice and flat. And we'll roll up for 6, good, and roll back down. We'll roll up for 7, and we'll roll back down. And we'll roll up for 8. I'm trying to get him from in front of the camera. And roll back down. Roll up for 9. Merlin, you gotta move your tushy. And roll back down. And roll up for 10. Gently roll back down. If you need to, hug your knees into your chest for a moment. And I'll have you carefully roll to a side to come up. We're gonna do our set of torso twists. He's going to go on the other side of the camera whether he wants to or not. Little camera hog. Let's gently come up. He knows it's there. He likes the camera. Can you tell? We're going to extend the legs on out. Heels are touching for feedback. Your toes don't have to touch. Tummy is just firm. I'm going to bring the arms out in front of us. Take the pressure off the neck. We're going to inhale as you turn through the ribs. Exhale. Tighten the abs. We'll inhale, turn. Exhale, tighten your tummy. And turn for 3 with that breath in. And tighten. And turn for 4. And tighten. And turn for 5. And tighten. Turn for 6. And tighten. Turn for 7. And tighten. Turn for 8. And tighten. Turn for 9. And tighten the tummy. Inhale, good. Exhale, back center. Now we go to the left for 10. We'll take a breath as we turn through the ribs. Exhale all that air out center. Tighten the stomach. Inhale. Exhale and tighten the stomach. Inhale. Exhale, tighten for 3. Inhale. Exhale, tighten for 4. Inhale. Exhale, tighten for 5. Good. There's 6. Inhale. Exhale, tighten. Inhale. Here's number 8. Inhale. Exhale, tighten for 9. Inhale. Exhale, tighten for 10. And then we're going to get ready for our clams. So we'll roll on our side. And keep the knees bent. Bring your heels right in line with your tailbone. So think of where your hip crease is at versus the back of your tailbone, where you want to line that up. Ankles are touching, knees are touching. We're going to lift up that side waist place, your obliques. We're going to keep that lifted, keep the shoulder blade down. And this hand is here for feedback, so you know where everything is at. The exhale will lift through that knee, so extending through the glute, and tightening it, and you'll release to lower back down. So squeeze up and lift, and lower. And lift for 2, and lower. So you're moving through your joint space by keeping that back lifted. You're not using your back to lift and roll you up, or using your ribs, especially if it's tight. Here's 6, and lift. 7, and lift. 8, and lift. 9, and lift. And 10, and lift. I'm going to clear my little feline out the way because you need to be able to see what my feet are doing next. Merlin, come on, buddy, move. We're going for the internal rotation, keeping this lifted. The knees are connected, lifting the foot to the sky, and we'll tap down. And we'll exhale, lift, and tap 2. He's such a ham. And lift, and tap 3. Yeah, you are. And lift, and tap 4. And lift, and tap 5. And lift. You have to do the shoulder check. And lift, tap 7. And lift. I see him coming. 8. And lift, and tap 9. And lift, tap 10. If you could saw his face, what he just did to me. Come on. You're taking up valuable time off this thing. Now, hey, we're going to lengthen the body, and we'll do those oblique lifts. So the feet are stacked, knees are stacked, ankles are stacked. You're going to inhale and lift through the ribs. Exhale, pull the abs in as you tighten. That protects your multifidi. That's the small muscles that surround the spine that gives you that fine motor movement and being able to turn through the waist, turn and reach and grab things, to bend down and roll back up. 4, and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, drawing in those abs. Inhale, lift 6. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 7. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 8. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 9. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 10. And exhale, lower. And if you need to hug that top knee in, go right ahead for a moment. Otherwise, I'm going to gently change sides and we'll do your other side with the clams. Rolling on down, and one side may be very different from the other. So don't be surprised if one side's really sore but mobile and the other side might not hurt but be extremely tight. We'll lift our obliques up. We're going to exhale, lift that top knee. Inhale, lower down. Again, bringing the feet in line with the sacrum, but right where the hip crease is if you were standing, the bottom of what we would call our butts. And lower for 3. And lift and lower for 4. Make sure your shoulder hasn't crept up to your ears. 5. And lift, lower 6. And lift, lower 7. And lift, lower 8. And lift, lower 9. And lift, gently lower 10. And we're going to go for the internal rotations, lift and lower. And lift and lower 2, still got that space, lift, lower 3, and lift, lower 4, and lift, lower 5, and lift, lower 6, and lift, lower 7, and lift, lower 8, and lift, lower 9, and lift, gently lower 10. And I went out of order, I just realized, because my little helper here sidetracked me. So we have those hip circles that we'll finish with at the very end. Now we're going to go for the oblique lifts on this side. This is your inhale up, exhale, pulling the abs in. And we'll inhale, lift 2, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 3, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 4, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 5, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 6, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 7, exhale, lower. And we'll inhale, lift 8, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 9, exhale, lower. And inhale, lift 10. Good, gently exhale and lower. And carefully roll on your back one last time. And it's okay to do this in the order that we're doing it here, thanks to my helper. My curtains look really odd looking at them. The way the light is coming in, I really don't have holes in them. They don't really climb up them. They're actually quite good. We'll keep the spine neutral, and this may actually be easier once everything's a little looser to do. We'll lift the leg to what's called tabletop. So your thigh bone would be the leg of the table, and your shin bone is the tabletop. Arms are long at your sides, abs are in. Using your leg bone, your femur, to draw a small circle in that hip joint. We're going to go 10 each direction for each side. And going right through the joint space, so you're not using your whole body, so your whole body isn't rocking. As you get stronger, you'll find that it's a lot easier. And when you have the one side done, we'll carefully float the other leg up and trying not to press through the leg who's not moving or ground down. Just gently drawing 10 small circles. 5 more, 4 more. 3, 2, and 1, and then we'll go the other way. 5 more, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lower that down, and then I'll have you carefully roll on your all fours. And we're going to finish with a set of cat-cows. I'm moving this gingerly so I don't knock my camera over or I have another helper. Fingers are spread. We'll exhale as you gently go up into your cat. Inhale as you go into your cow. The things I'd like you to look for while you're doing this, making sure your fingers are spread, your index fingers are in line with either your spine or the edge of your mat. Knees are underneath your hips. And this is your exhale, and you're leading with your pelvis for the movement versus your head, so you're not doing a little head whip. And as you're coming back into your cow, You're pulling your shoulder blades down and you're taking that big deep breath in to help stretch across the front of the body and open up the chest. And as you exhale, you're tucking the pelvis, drawing the abdominals in, gently applying a little pressure to the ground to be able to give you that gentle arch to stretch to the mid-thoracic vertebrae. And as you inhale, lengthening through the spine, pushing the hips away, shoulder blades draw down, chest expands, and exhale. Give yourself a good, anywhere from 5 to 10 of those nice and slow. And if your knees are achy, tuck your toes under. Feel free to do that. And once you're there, I know this is a comfortable stretch for you. Go right ahead on in there into what's called child's pose. Arms are going one way, hips are going the other. And I hope you find this helpful. And if you have any questions, just get a hold of me. You can call or email.